Hello and welcome to another edition of Choose to Challenge. I am LaWanna Bradford and I'm so excited because as you can see below, we're going to be talking about Mindset Alchemy from Drab to Fab. I will be joined by my dynamic co-host, the amazing Connie Wills out of Arizona. And guess what? It is Women's History Month. And the theme this month is moving forward, women inspiring and educating. And that's what we hope that we do for you when we come and talk about Mindset Alchemy, that you're getting those nuggets that you can take and translate and apply to your life so that you can make a difference. And this whole conversation is about how we can sometimes show up in a way where we play small. We sideline ourselves. Have any of you been there? Well, we don't want to do that anymore. We want to show up bold, vibrant, in living color, basically be walking that red carpet every single day of our lives and owning it. We'll be back in a minute with Connie as we unpackage from Drab to Fab. Hey, Connie, how's it going?
Wonderful. First Monday in March. I'm loving life right now, just loving it. And can't wait to get into this going from Drab to Fab.
This is exciting. And we just want to thank our viewing audience for tuning in with Choose to Challenge every single Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern on E360 TV. And we're going to get right into it. So, as I mentioned, we can sometimes show up playing small. And the reason why Connie and I wanted to title this from Drab to Fab is when you play small, you're not really feeling that great about yourself, right? You're kind of cowering. You're that wallflower. You sidelined yourself. You're just swimming in the zone of excuse-itis, right? Coming up with any reason not to show up for you. And we just have this one life to live. Connie, what do you have to say about that?
Absolutely. We do have this one life. And you know what? We as women, we can really influence our worlds. We might not be able to influence the whole world. That's okay. If we can influence one person, just one, we have done a great job. And when we get out there, we need to step out there big and bold and confident and authentic. And many of us think those words are, oh my God, I'm not confident. I'm not authentic. Yes, you are. Just step into it. Step into it. We do not have to be afraid to step into our authentic selves. And that is part of going from Drab to Fab. Because let me tell you, I have gone that journey. Stepping into my authenticity has been the best move of my life. Did I know I would be here? No. But I knew I would be somewhere. And so this is just the beginning. And I love that we are also teaching, inspiring, building up, lifting up others as we step into our fabulousness, right?
Yes. You know, and I love what you said, that you didn't know where you were going to be, but you knew you were going someplace other than where you were. And that's the exciting thing. When you start to step into who you are and your truth, and you're comfortable in expressing yourself, life starts to take on a new zing factor. It becomes delicious. It becomes exciting because you never know how the world is now going to show up for you, because now it's your truth that's being presented to the world and not this masked truth that you were showing. I don't even call it a truth, this masked version of yourself that you've been showing for years.
Absolutely. You know what? When you step into yourself, your truth, as LaWanna just said, your truth, many times that takes a mindset shift. It takes a mindset change. As we talk about Mindset Alchemy, this takes a mindset change to step into your truth. But when you do, you are becoming that person you're always supposed to be. And I think the joy in the journey of stepping from Drab to Fab is the journey itself. It's the fact of becoming fabulous, because we already know we are, but it's that in-between part from Drab to Fab the in-between part, embracing that becoming. And when you embrace that, you will fill the rooms of your life up. Wherever you step your foot, wherever you go, you will have influence that you don't even understand you have.
Exactly. Well, let's get into just our chat, Connie. I know we talked about a few things, and to the listening audience, we want to go through like a definition of what drab is, but we're going to give you three examples, and we're talking to each other, so just lean in and see what you can pick up from our conversation. But we're going to talk about those 3 drab factors, and then how you can translate them into fab for your life. And obviously you're going to make some modifications, but we really want you to think about, do any of these apply to you, or do you know someone that might be showing up in a drab kind of a way? So the one thing is, Connie, when I think about being drab, it's, we're being mediocre, right? We're comfortable with just existing. As I mentioned previously, it's like that wallflower, playing small. It's okay. It's good enough. You find yourself using terms like that, right? Like, well, it's okay. I'm all right with that. It doesn't matter. Or if someone says, well, what would you like to do? People tend to say, well, whatever you want. I'm good. I'm easy. I'm flexible. And when you do that, I find that you start to lose who you are, because you're not used to just saying, oh, well, you're asking me what kind of movie would I like to watch. This is what I prefer. Now, if we can have a meeting of the minds, maybe I'll back away from my movie this time, and then we'll see the movie I want to see next time. But when you're always deferring things, I think that's for women, Connie, can start to put them in that mediocre space.
Yes, I fully agree. And mediocrity, I believe, is a mindset. I believe mediocrity is a mindset that many of us women have learned to live with. So we can, like, what do we say? We want to keep the peace. Let's not ruffle any feathers. Let's just, as LaWanna was saying, we're just going to go with the flow. Oh, what do you want? Oh, whatever. Instead, we really deep inside, we know what we want, and we know it's something different than what the other person may want. But we are afraid to say it because we don't want to ruffle. Women are supposed to be soft and smooth and just go with the flow. I believe that is a mindset that's been placed in many of us, and we've grown up with it. It's generational. We've grown up with it, and we are afraid. Many of us are afraid to break that cycle. But we have to go in our mindset, make some changes, break that cycle, make it okay to be different. It's okay to stand out. It's okay to go beyond mediocrity. We don't want to do just because, just like LaWanna said, no, it's good enough. I just got it done. I remember many times at work, I got it done, knowing I could do better. Got it done. Let's do better. Let's jump out of that mediocrity. Let's jump off that mediocrity hamster wheel, and let's do better for us and for other women.
Yeah, and, I know it's, people may hear it's like, okay, it's easier said than done, and it is easier said than done. The first thing is, what I found, Connie, is you have to recognize where you are. You have to be willing to see where you are. Willing to take off those blinders and be true to yourself. Give yourself grace in whatever you uncover. And then from uncovering that discovery period, then you can start to transform and expand. And it may, depending on how much yuck you've got to get out of, it may take you years. Sometimes it can be very quickly. But we're always expanding and growing. So we should never just be comfortable with, okay, I'm here. Because to me, when you stop expanding, you're basically giving yourself license to just give up. You're not really living the way I believe that we were created to live. And when we think about tolerating mediocrity, one of the things that we talked about is being able to go from whatever this mediocre existence was, to being able to embrace excellence. And excellence is going to look different for every single person. But I think it's important for people to be able to, when we talk about vision boards, that's probably a good place to start. If you're like, well, how do I get there? Start drawing it out, getting images, things that you can put up there, words to show you, for you, what does this excellent existence look like? And how do you fall in love with that? Connie.
And let's think of excellence as a process, because many of us will think, well, I am just drab. I don't know what to do. I'm scared to move forward. Don't think of that big ending that you might have dreamed about yet. Let's think about that first small step, that first small mindset shift, that first little click. Let's think about that, and let's do that, and let's celebrate every victory along the way, because that's important. Many of us don't celebrate ourselves. We don't celebrate the tiny victories that nobody knows but you. We don't celebrate that. That is so important on our route to excellence, to celebrate every victory. I think it's important, just like LaWanna said, that vision board, very, very important. And another thing I use is a success book or list now, a success list. Every little thing, I don't care if it's a success that I just, LaWanna will get a kick out of this one, that I just swallowed a pill. That's still a success. And I'm going to put that little thing in there because that shifted a mindset barrier that I had. So any little thing that can help us get from mediocrity to excellence, let's work on that. Let's take it in little chunks. Because for me, that's what works for me. Taking it in little chunks. If I think of the big picture, I can get overwhelmed, as we all can. Take it in little steps and just watch how you grow. Watch how the excellence comes. It's going to do that. Just watch.
Yeah, I agree. It's like we can overwhelm ourselves by trying to transform 40, 50 years of being into a weekend retreat. Again, there can be some, I believe, spiritual shifts, but now the mind and the body have to align with where the spirit already is, because the spirit, I believe, already lives and thrives in the place of excellence, but we've become detached from that. And so creating that alignment and walking in tandem with that is where we start to see those results over and over and over again. We'll be right back with Mindset Alchemy from Drab to Fab.
We will win, we will win in the end. We will win in the end. We can't lose, we can't lose. We can't lose if we choose. We will win.
Well, we already talked about going from mediocre to embracing excellence. Now let's talk about comparisonitis. And as women, we can get caught up in looking around, whether it's comparing our physicality with someone else, comparing someone's status, our status with where someone else is, what someone is doing. I may be going to the cabins in my state for a holiday, but then I've got a friend that's posting photos of her trip to Dubai. And so you start comparing your lanes of living with other people. And that can be, again, a very drab existence, because the more you compare, the more you start to not feel too good about yourself. Connie.
Absolutely. Comparisonitis can destroy dreams. It has destroyed dreams. And it's something that we don't think about. I was thinking about that earlier. Where in the world did this comparisonitis come from? Why did we start comparing instead of working with and praising and building up? We all have our lanes. We all have places we are going to go that no one else is assigned. We all have our place of excellence. That is our place of excellence to serve. But when we compare, we put a lid on that. When we compare ourselves to others, we stop the flow of imagination, excellence. We stop that in our own lives. And that is something that can be very difficult to overcome. It's usually not something that we overcome overnight because we have been fed this, that you've got to be this, you've got to be that, you've got to be this, instead of you've got to be yourself, your authentic, unapologetic self. So we as women, I think we as women have been fed that more than anybody, honestly. I think we've been fed that we are compare yourself to her, to him, to whoever, to actresses, to whoever it is, whoever's on the big stage, we tend to compare ourselves, or whoever we deem more important than us, we compare ourselves to that person. Let's step back and look inside of ourselves. Let's step back and take inventory of who we are and start ridding ourselves of comparisonitis. I love the word. LaWanna told me this the other week. Comparisonitis. I love the word because you know what? Comparing is a seed of death. Comparing will kill you, literally in your mind.
Yeah.
It will kill dreams.
Yeah, it will. And so it's like you may think, well, what's the opposite of that? Well, it's being self-assured. It's having confidence. It's being comfortable in your own skin, no matter, and I'm going to just stick on weight for a minute, no matter how big or how small you are where you are. Okay. If you want to get healthier, then make a decision and start working toward that. Whatever that looks like for you, but don't beat yourself up thinking, oh my gosh, look at this 24-year-old and I'm 60 and she's a size 4 and I'm a size 12. She's a 24-year-old. Higher metabolism, probably higher activity level. I mean, it's like we were all probably there. Some may have had struggles their whole life. But the issue is you got to love yourself. I think that's the one thing that, for me, helped me get out of that comparison wagon a long, long time ago. I love me so much. I mean, I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, LaWanna, you are just amazing. And sometimes that's hard for people to just literally look at their reflection and start complimenting yourself and keep doing until it feels comfortable. And then take it a step further. Start complimenting yourself with no clothes on in front of the mirror. Start recognizing everything that you love about yourself. Start speaking life. And you'll notice you're showing up differently. You'll start dressing differently. You'll get out of those sweatsuits that you're wearing all the time, the baggy clothes. I don't want people to see my little pooch. And what about those women that are at the beach wearing any and everything, right? No matter how big they are, they're enjoying life. But you don't want to go to the beach. You don't want to walk along the beach because, oh my gosh, you're going to see my cellulite. No one's looking at you.
It's so true. That's hilarious. It's so true. Because how many of us women have lived in that spot? I'd say a lot. I lived there with the comparisonitis. I lived there comparing myself to others. And LaWanna brought that up. Here, I'm comparing myself to a 20-year-old, 25-year-old, even 30-year-old. I'm 60, 61. I am who I am. I have grown into this wonderful woman that I am. And like LaWanna said, it is imperative that we look ourselves straight in the mirror, no makeup, no nothing, preferably even no clothes, and tell that woman how much we love and appreciate her, how beautiful she is, how strong she is, make her stand up in confidence. And then when we go into spaces, we can be that confident. We can, and it shows, like when you start telling yourself over and over, you might not believe it at first. Normally you don't, but keep doing it over and over, because what the mind hears over and over again, the mind will eventually believe.
Exactly. Yeah, you start reprogramming yourself. And I've got to share this with you. So it's going on 2 years now. Um, I took my niece and nephew and we went to swim with the dolphins and just had a great time. And we hung out at the beach and stuff. And I thought, you know what? I'm posting these videos and pictures. Normally I never would, because being a former athlete, I really love a well-toned body. I mean, that's what I love. That's what I had for a long time. Then I got sick and life happened, and it just is. So I'm not that lean, mean fighting machine anymore. And it was so liberating to post those photos. And I was so amazed, Connie, how many women reached out and said, "Oh my gosh, LaWanna." And then I saw them later venturing out, and whether they were wearing shorts or whatever, they felt like, wow, I could do this. I'm like, okay, yeah, it's not the whatever considered perfect body anymore, but it's mine. And I loved it. In fact, one of my friends, she goes, "Oh my gosh, LaWanna, it was so cute," because I had a monokini. It had the hole in the middle. And she goes, "Oh my God, you're so, I didn't realize how small you were." And I was laughing. And she goes, "What's so funny?" I said, "You should have asked me to turn to the side."
Oh my goodness. I remember this, LaWanna, and I also talked to you about him, and I was so proud. And here I am, feeling some kind of way about my body at that time. And I was so proud, and I was like, wow, look at this woman. Look at this woman out here, proud, not ashamed, living her life out loud. And that gave me a push as well, to start living your authentic self out loud.
And the one thing I want to just share, and I'm going to turn it back over to you, Connie. And this is just a tool that I've used as I went through whatever it was, especially when it came to my body or something, because I've had so many surgeries, so I feel like I'm like all scarred up. But then I shifted how I looked at, the scars. And so what I started doing is I created a photo journal of myself. And it was amazing to see even just the expression on my face in the beginning and then the end. And I did it actually for a full year. And and maybe one of the shows I'll show them, I was totally transformed, because every time I was taking, and this is me doing selfies, taking photos of myself, I became more and more comfortable, right? Because now I'm looking at myself through the lens of the camera. It's not someone else. It's not photoshopping anything. I just want it LaWanna raw. And so going back to that, the bathing suit thing on the beach, when I compare that, and then for my birthday a year ago, I was at the pool and I did some shots. If you put those side by side, I look radically different. Very confident here out on, crashing around the waves and everything. But the other one, it's like I was just capturing myself like in the moment, right? But this one, it was like I was posing, I was dominating, I was taking up space in that shot. And I had to sit back and think, wow, all that happened in 12 months? So again, that's just a little example of you can do something different that shifts this, that literally changes how you show up. And when you can capture it on camera and look at yourself, you'd be quite amazed. Your smile will be more vibrant. You're standing up taller. Maybe you were always wearing black. Now you're doing little pops of color. You'd be amazed, Connie.
Wow, that just hit me. And I was the person that wore black all the time because I thought it made me look smaller. It just made me look invisible. But that was what you just said there. Just taking that little mindset shift. There you go. that mindset shift and putting action behind it made the changes over the 12-month period. That one little mindset shift, you said you decided to shift that mindset about your scars and stuff, and then every day change that little bit of mindset shift. It made you go from drab to fab in the area of your self-image. And that's so important, ladies. I think that's a beautiful, beautiful lesson. I'm taking it. I don't know if you all are, but I am, because I was one that was so ashamed of my physicality. And people would look at me like, what's wrong with you? I was so ashamed. I could always tell you a million things that I thought was wrong about me. But now I realize it's a mindset shift, y'all. We are all meant here to look different sizes, different colors, different heights, different weights, different builds, knock knees, bow legs, straight leg, big arms, small arms, whatever it might be, big necks, small necks. And now they talk about big backs, small backs. It doesn't matter. Love that person that you are. And if you want, like LaWanna mentioned a little bit ago, if you want to get yourself in tip-top physical shape, we can all do that to do our best, the best of our ability, right? We can do that. But don't talk about the woman you are right now. Don't put her down.
Right.
Love her through the journey. And you will see that difference from day 1 to day 365 will be a whole 180. You'll see that.
I love that. And, it's interesting for for people who don't know us, because we're here coming at you through the airways. Connie, and this is the other thing, is as women, it's okay to compliment another woman. It's okay. One of the things that Connie always does is when she greets me, hello, beautiful. She's the only person I know that every single day when I call her, I'm going to hear that. That is so cool. But for whatever reason, women are like, well, I don't want to compliment her. I don't want to say, whatever she's wearing looks nice. Why not? I mean, it's a good thing, and it's actually liberating because the more you pour out, the more that message is going to start coming back to you, right? And like with us, I'm short, and Connie's tall. She's got legs for days. But, so again, this goes to comparisonitis, and I'll look at her, and it's an automatic thought. I'm like, gosh, she's so tall. She's got long legs. She's got beautiful legs. And, but I like myself, but it's things I notice, and I've never even shared this with her till now, but I think she's one of the most gorgeous women I've ever had the presence to be around. And even though she'll mention her insecurity, I don't see it because her presence is so massive. But it just shows you never know what's going on here with people, right?
Absolutely. LaWanna, I'm so happy you mentioned that, because that is one of I think it's a mindset hack for me too, because I started probably a year or two ago greeting everybody, my women especially. I'll say women, not men normally, but women. Hi, beautiful. Hi, gorgeous. If I see you in a grocery store, and I don't even have to know you, hello, beautiful, or I will find something to compliment you about. Little did I know that was bringing out that in myself as well. Little did I know that was actually really shifting my mindset at the time, because I didn't know that. But I just started doing it because I said, you know what, God, there is beauty in everyone. I don't care what their physicality is. There is beauty, and I can find that in everybody. Now, mind you, LaWanna's absolutely right. I never thought I was beautiful, but I said there's beauty in everyone. And I started doing that, be it via text, be it on a social media platform, be it in person. Hi, gorgeous. Hi, beautiful. And do you know that just can lift you just a little bit that day? When someone says, hi, gorgeous, whoa, I wasn't expecting that. Yeah. Wow, that just lifted me a little bit of my spirit right there. So that is something, and I had never thought of it that way until today, LaWanna, that how important it is for us to even hear that from others. And also how important it is for us that even say it, how it builds us. because I'm not saying it as a cliche, I genuinely believe there is something beautiful about everybody. And if it's your earrings, if it's your blouse, if it's your hair, if it's your skin, if it's your teeth, could be your nose, could be your eyebrows, I'm going to try to compliment that, because I know how important it is for us ladies to compliment one another, because we tear each other down way too much.
On that note, we'll be right back with Mindset Alchemy from Drab to Fab.
Are you ready to defy gravity and challenge the impossible? Meet LaWanna Bradford, the visionary leader behind Choose to Challenge on E360 TV. Now in its 5th season, this groundbreaking show shines a spotlight on voices of change from across the globe. Born during the pandemic, Choose to Challenge becomes a platform for transformation where no topic is off limits. Every episode highlights individuals breaking barriers, rewriting narratives, and making an impact. Ready to share your story and inspire change? Call 404-618-2824 to become a guest. This is your moment to rise. Tune in now at e360tv.com. Your voice matters. Let's change the world together.
Yes, we definitely want
one more thing that I neglected to say. I have always thought you were so beautiful. And you know, the tall girls want to be short like the short girls want to be tall. And I always thought, even in college, and I just thought, she's so pretty and she has the cutest voice and all of that. I always thought that. So you know what? Now it's out there. It's out there now.
Okay, I got to make it funny. So you talk about my voice. So this is not my natural voice. I practiced to bring this because I have a Mickey Mouse kind of. My natural voice is Mickey. And I had to really work on that. And it comes out when I get really excited. So I have to, especially now that I'm a speaker, I have to like tone it down. So I'm not like, oh my gosh. But it just is. So sometimes you have to dress for the occasion, speak for the occasion, add a little bass for the occasion. Oh my goodness. But we are almost out of time, Connie. So our last piece, we've already talked about tolerating mediocrity and going from that to embracing excellence, going from comparison-itis to being self-assured, walking with confidence. And this last piece is playing small. And we've talked about that. But the solution for playing small is to take up space, to dominate, to occupy, to expand, right? So it's like, whoever's watching, just do this. Just expand.
Yes.
Raise your hands. Yes. How does it feel just to reach out, right? Break those barriers. Connie, I'll let you take this one on before we close out. So we're going to go from playing small to just showing up, taking up space. Connie.
Space. How many of us have ever been in a room and this woman walks in, and it is as if a whirlwind has walked in. It's as if a whirlwind has walked in, and everybody can feel her presence walking in the room, and she takes up everybody's attention. That's what I look as taking up space when you walk in a room, because it's that woman's confidence that has taken up that space. It is that woman's presence that has taken up that space. And normally that woman does not have to say a word. It just is. It is just her. So from playing small, many of us play too small. I was one. Play too small. Now taking up space. And it is a mindset shift, ladies. It's a mindset shift. We have to shift our thinking to know we are, we can, we will, and we are being that right now. We may not see it right this minute, but we have to automatically believe it. And we have to speak it. We believe it, we speak it, we believe it, we speak it. Then we become it. And it shows in how we interact, how we move, how we deal with people, how we deal with ourselves. And I think most importantly, that taking up space has to start here with you, with me. And once we start taking up that space in our individual lives, believe me, people are going to see it as you move through your day, move through your life, whatever it is you may do. People will see how you take up space and they will marvel. They'll look, wow, especially if you were shy and drawn back like I was. They will look at you and say, wow, who is that? What in the world happened to her? Who is she now? It's because you've changed your mindset, alchemy of the mind. You've changed it and you've decided, I'm going to take up space this day. And it's going to show once you start walking in it. But it takes movement, y'all. You got to walk in it. You've got to walk in it.
I love it. I'm going to just replay the Women's History Month video before we sign off, and we'll be right back.
We will win, we will win in the end. We will win in the end. We can't lose, we can't lose. We can't lose if we choose. We will win.
Well, Connie, this has been another amazing show. To our listening audience, thank you so much for joining us for this special Women's History Month theme from Drab to Fab on Mindset Alchemy. And we just encourage you to think about those 3 points that you want to embrace excellence, you want to be self-assured, and then the third thing is you want to take up space unapologetically. This is your time to shine, ladies. So don't play small, expand. Let the world know that you're here. Because we believe when you do that, that's when you become this amazing change agent. You become this beacon of light, of hope for the next generation who's looking to you for direction. So be the change you wish to see in the world, show up, and live a fabulous life. Thank you so much, Connie, and we'll see you next month for another edition of Mindset Alchemy.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful, wonderful March celebrating Women's Month. Have a wonderful time. Yes.
Yes. Bye for now.